Good morning, students. Students, today we are starting a very interesting story of four animals from our Balabharti textbook, page number 58, lesson number 27, the Bremen town musicians. So now open your textbook and pay attention. Once there was a donkey who had worked long and hard for his master. Now he had grown weak and could not do much work. So his master began to treat him unkindly. He even began to starve the donkey. He wanted to save the money he spent on the donkey's food. In the end, the poor donkey left the house. He believed he still had a good, strong singing voice, so he decided to go to Bremen town and earn his living as a town musician. Now, see, children, once there was a donkey and he was living with his master, and he had worked long and hard for his master, but now he had grown weak, and now that donkey could not do much work, and that's the reason his master was not treating him kindly, and he was starving that donkey too. And because this master wanted to save the money which he had spent on the donkey, and that's the reason this donkey was very unhappy, and he wanted to leave his master's house, and he wanted to go to Bremen town, and there he wanted to become a musician, because he was thinking that his voice is very good now also, and he will go to the Bremen town, he will become musician there, and he will earn his money for his food. Then what happened? See, on the way he met an old dog. He too had been kicked out of the house by a cruel master. The donkey was afraid. How will I earn my bread? He said. On the way, when he was on the way to the Bremen town, he met one dog. That dog was also very unhappy because his master was also kicked out of his master's house, and now that dog was very unhappy, and he was feeling and he was thinking how he will earn his money for his food. Why, you have a voice as good as mine, said the donkey. Let us both go to Bremen and sing for the townspeople. We shall be well paid there. So the two companions went on together. On the way, donkey met dog, and he was also happy. So donkey told that dog, you also have good voice just as me. We will both go to the Bremen town, and there we will become town musicians, and we will earn our money for our food. Then these two animals went together to the Bremen town. Suddenly they heard a cat moving sadly with tears in his voice. Why are you crying? They asked. How can I be happy knowing that my mistress is going to drown me? I am old and would only like to sit by the fire and sleep. I cannot catch mice as I did before, so my mistress does not need me anymore. Where am I to go? Now, on the way, when these two animals were on the way to the Bremen town, they heard a cat moving very sadly, and tears were also in that cat's eyes. When they saw this cat, they asked, why are you crying? Then cat replied that, how can I be happy when I know that my mistress want to drown me out of the house, because now I cannot catch mice, and I want to sit near the fire and sleep. That's the reason my mistress want to drown me out of her house. Then what these two animals say, see, come with us to Bremen. You have a sweet voice and you know night music. You too can be a town musician, said the donkey. The donkey says to cat that you also have sweet voice. So come with us, we will go to Bremen town and we will become their musician and we will earn money for our food. Now the three traveled together for some time till they came upon a farmyard. There they heard a cock's loud wailing. When they made inquiries, the cock told them, my mistress is preparing a feast for her guests. She has told the cook to kill me for the feast. I am so frightened. So the donkey invited the cock too to join the band of musicians. Now, children, all of you know that first donkey left his master's house, then dog left his master's house, and then cat also joined them to the Bremen town musician. Then what happened? When they were traveling together and when they went some long way, at that time again, when they came upon a farmyard, they heard a cock's loud wailing, and when they asked cock why he is crying, at that time the cock replied that my mistress is preparing a feast for her guest and she also told her cook to kill me for the feast, and that's the reason the cock was very frightened. Then these three animals, the donkey, the dog, the cat, told this cock also to join them to the Bremen town musician. Okay, Bremen was still a long way away. On the way, they had to cross a forest. As it began to get dark, the cock flew to the top of a tree to look around for shelter. He saw an old house among the trees. The four friends decided to rest there for the night. Then what happened? These four animals. Which four animals? First donkey, then dog, then cat, and then cock. These four animals were on the way to become town musicians, and when they were on the way, they came near a forest, and when they came near a forest, it began to get very dark, and now it was not possible to cross the jungle, and that's the reason the cock flew to the top of a tree to look around for shelter, means they wanted to rest there for the night, and whenever there will be morning again they will be on the way to the Bremen town. So the cock was searching from the tree whether they will get any place to rest there, and when the cock saw that there was an old house among the trees, these four friends decided to take a rest for that night in that house. It was quite dark by the time they reached the house. Through the window, they saw some robbers feasting at a large table inside. The animals had a clever idea. Why not give their first performance here? The robbers would be so pleased that they would happily share their food with the four musicians. They might even pay them for their performance. Then what happened? Now it was quite dark, and these four animals reached near the house and they saw through the window what is inside the house. Inside the house there were some robbers, and they were feasting at a large table, and on that table there were so much food. And now what happened? These four animals was thinking that if we are going to become a musicians, then why should not perform in front of these robbers? If they like our performance, they will give us money also, and now they are feasting inside the house. They will also allow us to eat their food which is kept on the long table. Then what happened? See, so the donkey placed his foreleg on the window ledge. The dog jumped on the donkey's back, and the cat on the dog's. The cock perched on the cat's head. Then all at once and all together they began to sing their wonderful song. Then what happened? The donkey placed his foreleg on the window, and on the donkey's back a dog stand, and on the dog's back cat stand, and on cat's back cock perched on the cat's head. And all at once all these four animals started singing their wonderful song. Today we are going to stop here. In the next period we will continue explaining